Hey, my name is Kayla. I decided to do my PowerPoint presentation on Vincent Van Gogh. I've always been a huge fan of all of his paintings, um, and so it was pretty obvious that I wanted to do him for my PowerPoint presentation. Um, Vincent Van Gogh was born in a village called the Groot Zundert on March 30th, 1853. He is named after his stillborn baby brother that was actually born on the same day that he was a year prior. Um, his parents went on after Vincent. They had five more siblings. Um, the one closest to Vincent was his brother Theo. They had a very close relationship. Um, Van Gogh went to a little country school in Zundert from the time he was about 6 until he was around 11 years old. And then at that time, he went on to a boarding school in Sevenbergen for 2 years. And then he went on to a state high school in Tilburg. And he left the state high school when he was about 15 years old, but nobody really knows why. So at 15, he returned home to where his parents were living, and in about the year that he was there, he decided to begin an apprenticeship at a art firm, and it was the art firm that his grandfather had started years before he was born. And so he got his first kind of leisurely taste of city life. And after he started his apprenticeship, his younger brother Theo, that he was very close with, there are several letters between the two of them. His brother Theo started an apprenticeship with the same company, but at the office in Brussels. He moved around a lot. He didn't really stay anywhere for very long. He didn't really stay anywhere longer than about 2 years. And during his travels, he was in Brussels and was introduced to Antoine Ritter van Rappert, and he became a big part of Van Gogh's life. He was a major confidant for Van Gogh from then until the time that he died. Let's see. He had a few job changes after he left the apprenticeship. He was an assistant teacher. He was a pastor. He was an assistant pastor, and he was on contract as a pastor for about 6 months. And when his contract wasn't renewed, he kept doing the work, but he also started drawing again. And while he was there, he walked a little over 40 miles to visit with an artist named Jules Brenton. And Brenton really inspired him, and so he decided to enroll in the Academy of Art in Brussels. He kind of struck out on his own, went on, walked around, met with miners, spent time with the lower class citizens. And so he had a lot of drawings and watercolor paintings. of the peasants. His main medium that he used to develop his work would be the oil on canvas. Um, some of his oil works were the Sower and the Green Vineyard. On down the line, he had plans to open a studio, and the relationship, the business relationship between Van Gogh and this other man ended really badly, and so Van Gogh, having history of mental issues, uh, cuts off his ear while he is in the middle of this fit of just mental rage. And after that, he ended up checking himself into a mental hospital, and he leaves the hospital and he goes on to this city that I cannot pronounce at all. But he puts himself into the care of this doctor, and his mental state improves some, but not for very long. He ends up leaving, and he is out walking by himself one day and shoots himself in the chest. And 3 days later, he passes away with his brother Theo, who he was extremely close with, by his side. And the painting "Wheat Field with Crows" is one of my personal favorites. It was actually the last painting that he completed before he died, and another artist friend of his actually did a sketch of his face right after he died. And so after he died, his brother Theo commissioned a art show in his home to show off some of the works of Vincent Van Gogh. He never really got just a lot of recognition for his works of art until after he passed away. And I want to end with a quote from Van Gogh, and it says that great things are done by a series of small things brought together. And so that is it for my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it.